Now, there's a certain kind of boxer who only really seems to find his form when he's on the ropes, who comes out punching just when his opponent doesn't expect it. The same might be said of Sim Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, who has really gone on the offensive against his former political godfather and minister of Abuja, Nyesom Wike. And lately, his rather pugnacious stand has been winning him support in Rivers State and beyond, with more people coming out to challenge his opponent on his behalf. So even as this unspeakably tragic political crisis continues to deepen, it seems to be fostering this community spirit of support, with the need for the long-term survival of the state becoming a pretty efficient motivator for that support. The latest to add his voice is the lawyer and former chairman of the Labour Party, Chief Dan Wanyanwu. Here he is speaking at a recent press conference about the crisis in Rivers State.
If the problem is about 2027, the person you should do business with is Fubara. He's the man on seat. You know it, Mr. President. You have been there for 8 years. You are the most experienced politician to become president. So you should understand it more than I do. If you don't know, Wike will contest against you, President Tinubu, in 2027. Take it to the bank. All that he's doing, forget about all these razzmatazz in Abuja. Yes, he has done well. He will run against you. He will run for president. He will leave your office. He will leave that office end of 2025 or early 2026 to prepare for his presidency. Why do I say so? I have on record 26 speeches made by Wike which showed commitment. He had failed in all. So your own, President Tinubu, will be my case.
And that is Chief Dan Wanyanwu there. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the man himself, the lawyer, politician, and political analyst, Barrister Dan Wanyanwu. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Why have you waded into this conflict in Rivers State? You're not even from Rivers State.
First of all, let me correct some few things you said in your intro. We now have two factions of the House of Assembly in Rivers. There is only one legitimate State House of Assembly in Rivers State. Secondly, it is out of place to say because I'm not from Rivers, I will not speak.
No, I didn't say you can't speak. I
Yes.
just said
Why
you're
should I?
not from Rivers.
Okay, let me tell you the reason why we are interested. We want election to be conducted in 27 local governments. Don't be referring to me as former national chairman of Labour Party. If you refer to that, I have a political party now, Zenith Labour Party.
But you're,
So
you're the former
Yes,
chairman
former chairman
of
Labour
the
Party.
Labour
Yes.
Party. Yeah.
I was there for 10 years. So we want to contest the election and take some seats from Rivers. That is our locus. That is why we are concerned. That's why we are saying they have lost their position as State House of Assembly. And it will never change forever until there is another election. The law has made it clear. Section 1091G prescribes how a member of the State House of Assembly can lose his seat. When you dump the party on whose vehicle you got into the State Assembly to another party, you shall lose your seat. It doesn't need court process, Tony. All these are distractions. His Excellency Wike says so too. It's one of the 26 things I talked about. That a party you cannot win a seat in the State Assembly or National Assembly on the platform of a party. You leave it and go to another party. You can't go with the mandate. Wike says so. So why are we pretentious over all these things? Nigerians should stop being pretentious. The law has provided for it. And that's why some of us are out to ensure that the right thing is done. It doesn't need court process. But once you have gone to court, whether real or vexatious or frivolous, you obey the court. But they're only postponing the evil day. Those members of the State House of Assembly can never come back unless through another election, through another political party. Or maybe their party will readmit them to the contest. But they have lost the seat. That particular seat is lost. Go to Supreme Court. We cannot change the goalpost. The train has since left the station. Why are we doing like this? Are we not aware that it's provided for? Supreme Court has already taken a position on it. There was no crack or division, which was a provision given in that same act, in that same, provision of the Constitution, if there is division in the party. And division here means division at the national level. Because political party is the one in Abuja. Others are organs of the parties. The National Executive Committee of the party or national convention can dissolve any state organ.
Yeah, but you do understand, I mean, you're a lawyer, so nobody needs to tell you that if there are circumstances that one party argues against, then they go to court to make that determination.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That because they have gone to court.
And the bottom line is that they are making the argument that even though they said publicly that they were leaving the party, that they had not in fact left the party, and that the evidence seems to suggest, given that they didn't, I mean, I'm not in any way speaking for them.
I agree with you.
But the point is simply that those are outstanding issues that the courts will now have to
I agree with you. If you take
on.
anything to the court will determine it.
Yeah.
But don't forget, they swore to affidavits in court on oath that they have left PDP. They are now in APC. It does not matter whether their name has been included in the register of members of APC. It does not matter if they change another party on their journey to APC. They may divert to another party. It does not matter if they didn't go anywhere at all. The fact that you have left suo motu on your own, you have signed it on television, on radio, and you backed it up with affidavits in a court of competent jurisdiction. If they want to destroy this democracy, let them come back to PDP through the back door. I can tell you, the effect will be terrible in this country. And people are keeping quiet watching. What is in it? You have left. Take ticket from the other side, go and contest. Bam, that's all. Why are we behaving as if we have forgotten the rudiments of this game? They are not the first. It has happened before. This case has gotten to Supreme Court. In fact, the first case in Ondo, I took it to court when I was national chairman of Labour Party in Ondo State. And at the end of the day, Supreme Court said, look, you have lost your seat. There was no division in Labour Party. You shouldn't have gone. That is the locus classicus of this case.
Yeah. No. I think we've kind of.
So why are we wasting time? No,
I understand.
There's no division. Well, we should stop saying there's a division in the House of Assembly.
The point really is that is now before the courts.
Yes.
And as a lawyer, you know that you'll have to wait to hear the
decision. That's what I'm saying. Let the court decide.
But let me move on from that, because you suggested in that press conference that we saw a little bit of earlier that Minister Wike is planning to run against President Tinubu in 2027. What evidence is there of that? Because you haven't presented any, and a lot of people can't really see Mr. Wike challenging Mr. Tinubu in that way.
Let me tell you, Tony.
Charles.
Sorry, Charles. Without sounding modest, I understand this game. I've been at the toppest level of leadership, party leadership since 2005. I can know the barometer, and I have never been wrong. I gave examples there. Here's a man who has said so many things as commitment. Anybody who emerges from this convention, I will support him wholly. I have nothing to do with APC. I have malaria. You say I should go to cancer. God forbid. I can go on and on. In fact, I had 26. This morning, an unknown Nigerian sent 4 more to me. Look, the character is everything. Character is all. And I believe, I have been a firm believer that there must be a moral content in politics. Look, when you hurt a little child, you know you can easily forget it. The little child will not forget because he got the pains. Maybe many years later, he will remind you, Uncle Charles, you did this to me. You'll be shocked. You may not remember. The fact is that, why are you holding PDP, APC structures?
Well, I was going to ask you this just quickly, because I still haven't heard the evidence from you that supports your assertion that he is going to run against President Tinubu in 2027. I was wondering, you mentioned party. Under which party would he do that? I mean, as you correctly pointed out, let me just make the point. He's got one leg in the PDP and the other in the APC. Which of those parties do you think would be prepared to carry his message and support his candidates?
You see, if you ask me a question, you should be patient to get the answers.
Well, I've just asked you the question.
Good.
Yeah.
He has the structure of PDP in Rivers. He has the structure of APC in Rivers. He has the structure of PDP at the national. And he's always talking about my structure, my structure. Nobody can touch my structure. Nobody can. What are these structures for? Somebody had them before you came. You see, if you are looking for evidence that something is written or something is said, you won't find it. If you are in that game and you know how these things work, the evidence is abound everywhere. If I made a comment that he will run, let him leave, and he doesn't want to run, let him leave the leadership of the party, which is in his pocket at the national level.
The leadership of the PDP.
PDP.
Right.
It's in his pocket. The caretaker committee in Rivers, PDP, he's holding all. I have never seen this happen in politics before. Almost everybody in PDP had let it go. Look, we had our quarterly meeting with INEC last month or so. This matter came up that INEC, please go and conduct election in the vacant 27 seats. INEC, of course, we are joined with so many cases. Everybody became a very serious matter in the meeting. Then everything calmed down. INEC chairman said, okay, PDP representative here. He was represented by National Secretary. What do you have to say? He said, I have nothing to say. This is a party that lost 27 members. It doesn't want to say anything about it. Others who want to contest the seat are the ones speaking about it. I don't know the kind of evidence you want. I have said so. If he's not going to run, let us wait. You will bring me back here and call me Nostradamus.
Well, we'll have to watch and see. But, I mean, if he was going to run, as your suggestion is that possibly under the PDP.
Of course, he's going to run under PDP.
Yeah. What is he doing in the APC then?
I don't think he has joined the APC.
No, I know he hasn't joined, but he's got sort of, if not a full leg, he's got a foot in there.
He's serving the president. You know, if you check somebody's trajectory and see how he operates, it is difficult for you to arrive at a point where you expect him to be, because you have followed all the time. And I go, if I have said so many things, including serious issues, that let me not have peace if I work against this party. Let this happen to me if this happens. These are, you are taking oaths administered by yourself to yourself, unto yourself. And yet, you went contrary to all. He's in APC government. I don't have problem with that. We have had people who are not even party members serving government. He can serve President Tinubu and serve FCT. I was one of those that praised his work here. But that doesn't mean that the trouble we are causing somewhere. In fact, what he is doing is an embarrassment to the president, embarrassment to this government. So if they are not seeing it,
right,
that is their problem.
So in that regard, are you surprised that President Tinubu has allowed Minister Wike to continue to stir the pot in Rivers State, or do you think the president is unaware of the extent of Mr. Wike's intervention in the state and the extent of his responsibility for the crisis, or perhaps he just chooses to ignore it?
I don't want to anticipate the president. The president is a highly experienced politician. And there are things old men don't react quickly. He's not a young man. You see, when an old man wants to take a decision, he wants to watch and see things himself.
Yeah, but he obviously reacted at the outset when he tried to bring the parties together.
So
he's not unaware of what is going on.
Yeah, the president knew that thing he did at that time didn't have any support of the law. What was the peace? We are talking of the Constitution of Nigeria. Everything we are doing as politicians is predicated on the Constitution. You cannot, there can be any...
It is supposed to be predicated on
It's supposed to be predicated on the Constitution.
Because it isn't. That's why we're having all these crises.
That is another cup of tea.
Yeah.
So if the president, as his appointer, decides to watch, that is the choice of the president. Everybody has his styles. The president must be aware of certain things, which he cannot tell you nor speak about it. The last time I was in our sister station, I was talking about all these things happening. I said they are political, or this is security. A man called from London that, why do you think it's political? I said they're looking at the president's seat. These are some of the banana peels. I think the president should understand it. A crisis in Rivers may snowball into a heavy crisis in Nigeria. And I know what the people there will do. Everybody is now with the governor, apart from the people in Abuja. Weekends, they move in. Everybody will be on fire. Sunday, when they be going out, there will be peace. Rivers people will go about their normal businesses.
Right.
So the point I'm making,
right,
who in Rivers has not gone to pay loyalty to the governor? You see, soldier come, soldier go. Somebody was there before.
But those people who you allege are in Abuja, although you also said that the Minister Wike has his structure within Rivers State, certainly within the PDP.
No, I'm not saying he has structure. He has the structure of Rivers. He has the structure of...
and
clearly, those are just within the leadership.
So clearly he's got people in Rivers State. Do you think Rivers State, in those circumstances, does not have a stable government at the moment and is to some extent rudderless? Because a lot of decisions can't be taken because at the moment there really isn't a House of Assembly.
I disagree with you.
And you know, against that backdrop, you've got all these conflicting judgments.
No. I disagree with you. If out of 31 or 32, 27 is gone, what is left is the State Assembly. Until you conduct election to put out, people have been arguing, how can 3 people pass law? Those are the legitimate members of the State Assembly. And they can do all things guaranteed to the State Assembly to so do under the Constitution.
Well, that's another thing for judicial interpretation.
No. So when they're making that noise, I laugh. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, you're a lawyer, but yes, you're not a judge. So you're not the one who's going to make a decision about what's going on in Rivers.
That's why I'm telling you that there is no faction in the State House of Assembly. The State Assembly is one. And they know it. Look at the impunity. Thank God the Court of Appeal dealt with the local government tenure. I think yesterday or 2 days ago. That the tenure has expired. These are some of the perfidious, impunious action taken by the so-called State House of Assembly before they left. Why did they go? If they had decided to fight for Bara, they should have remained. They had the numbers.
Yeah, but you have to remember that the same Court of Appeal, the recent judgments that it made which essentially allowed these people to continue to function.
No.
Being
The
made a decision
the Court of Appeal did not say so.
They made a decision about jurisdiction,
but
it's being interpreted.
That's what I'm saying. They interpret things that will suit them.
Well, that's what everybody's doing.
Jurisdiction. The Court of Appeal just say, look, you don't have power to hear this matter. This is the body that's all. If Court of Appeal had the intention or had the intendment to ask them to go back, it would have said so.
Yeah, but
the court is never afraid to make orders.
Return to status quo. What is your interpretation of the status quo?
Status quo, as referred to by the court, was that these people have lost their seat.
Well,
they were no longer.
That's subject to interpretation, but I don't even want to go there for the moment, because that's, we'll see how the courts deal with it.
No, you have to understand it.
But let me I understand that.
What was the position before they went to court?
No, the problem.
The position was that they have lost their seat. That was the status quo.
The problem is that we're running out of time, and I want to get to certain things before we have to end this very interesting conversation.
Yes.
Obviously, in order to solve this problem, there will need to be a lot of discussion, negotiation. Do you agree, or would you just leave it to the courts to make the final decision?
What do you mean by negotiation?
Well, just as you had initially when the president, even if he did it unconstitutionally, tried to bring people together to resolve issues. Do you think that either side would be interested in compromise and negotiation, but, or do you think they want all-out victory?
I told you here that other political parties are waiting to participate in that election. The seats have become vacant. There is nothing to negotiate.
No, I'm not just talking about the national.
Yeah, you're talking about generally.
State House of Assembly. I'm talking about generally the political crisis in the state.
The solution is that allow the governor to perform his job as governor. You don't sell your goat and you hold the rope. The man that bought the goat has to take the rope to take the goat home. You cannot do here and there. You have done 8 years. What did you forget there? This is the problem with Nigerians. When they get to position, they don't want to leave. Some will remember that this thing has come to an end at the dying minute. Allow the governor to do his job. He has put timetable for local government election. My party, other parties are already taking the form to run. Allow the process.
Right.
This thing you are seeing as a problem is being executed in Abuja.
If Minister Wike was to listen to what you're saying now and decides to step away from muddying the political waters in Rivers State, are we likely to see Governor Fubara himself and his supporters coming down hard against all those who took sides against the governor? Because that might be a worry, which is why a lot of people are continuing to fight on.
I'm not Fubara. I'm not his spokesman. I'm talking to you, the one that concerns me as a political leader of a political party. We want to go and contest. We are interested in those 27 seats. We have not gone to court. We are waiting for somebody to intervene unconstitutionally. The only thing Wike withdraws, as you are saying, there will be total peace in Rivers. But he's not going to withdraw because of that ambition of 2027. He has to hold those structures. Okay, if you're not going to run, leave PDP structure, let it go through the process. Let them have proper leadership. It was frustrated the last neck. Allow the structure in Rivers to operate. So, and look at the PDP as a party. Have not shown any sympathy, cooperation, or solidarity with the governor in Rivers. Have you heard that they visited him? Have you seen it? So the handwriting is on the wall.
So what do you think is going to happen next?
What will happen next is that water will find its own level. And for those calling for state of emergency, I pity them. If you have state of emergency in Rivers, wait for it. If you want the president to declare it, wait for it. You will see it. I know what I'm saying. That's why I told you that I understand this thing without sounding modest. I understand this game. And I know what will be the reaction of people. Rivers State is not every other state. There was something President Yar'Adua saw before he entered into agreement to resolve the issues in Rivers. Our money, 90% comes from there. President Tinubu should not play with it. And the man that can guarantee that is Fubara, not Wike. his time has passed as governor of Rivers State.
On that note, I want to thank you very much indeed for a very feisty, very robust discussion. Barrister Dan Nwanyanwu is a lawyer, politician, and political analyst. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for having me.